Well, what was the chance of me building something to hang my guitars on without picking them up and doing things and, you know, tuning them and picking them and generally making a noise? I've not made a lot of progress because I've had other things to do, but let's go and have a look at what progress we have made. Well, I've figured out how to attach the rack, and I've cut two pieces, one for there and one for there, which is in my hand here. They're not very pretty, but they do the job. I've found a piece of timber to string across there. Let's go and look at that. Now, as you know, I like things that come to me for nothing. But sometimes you think, oh dear, dear, dear. What this was, I got up one morning and somebody had uprooted one of the posts that estate agents use to put signs outside houses. And I thought that will come in handy one day. But of course, this is modern supplied, what they laughingly call sustainable timber. And it's rubbish. It's, you know, very wide growth rings on it, quick grown stuff. Yeah, I've notched out a bit so far. This is to put a shape on it. What I'm going to do is just tidy that up a bit with a chisel and try and make it a bit prettier. Then that will be drilled, then that goes into the two hooky things either end. Then I shall make up some plates to hang the guitar necks in. And of course, one of the things that I've been doing that's taken a bit of time is messing about in the garden. This is the rescue rose, and isn't that just an absolute gem? That was worth watering it just for that. If we look at the rose cuttings, now I'm feeling a little bit optimistic about these. They were stuck in the dirt Monday, was it? They've now had, or Sunday I think, they've now had the opportunity to die, and they haven't. You know, this one is even sort of growing towards the light. So I'm a little bit hopeful that they might just make it. That is a pure experiment. I didn't use fancy and clever gardening techniques. They were just sort of stuck in dirt. But, you know, I'm sort of optimistic-ish. Well, this is the idea. These pieces of mahogany will be screwed to this horrible piece of sustainable timber after I've cut a hole for the neck of a guitar. So that's my next job, is to work out what shape a hole for a guitar neck should be. That's enough of that. This is my first guitar. I never did get on with it. It's, what is it, a Martin Smith. Martin Smith, not exactly a famous and popular name. As you can see, I haven't dusted it. It does hold hold its tuning, but I find it pretty much impossible to play. If you look at how tight those strings are. But it was bought for me by a friend, and so whatever I think of this guitar, I do have to be grateful for it, and I do very much, I cherish it. I just don't play it. But what I need to do is make an hooky sort of thing that will sit in, and it will just be a simple shape like that. I think this is one that will go on the wall and won't get played very often. So that's what I need to be doing, is making a hook. And of course all guitars are slightly different when you start looking at the backs of the necks and the sides of the necks. So each one will have to have its own hook. Not a big problem, I've got plenty of timber. It's Wednesday. Now there's a funny thing on Wednesdays. There are shops that don't open here on a Wednesday, and you probably know where I'm going with this. The job I'm doing, I need some screws. I've got loads of screws, but none quite what I wanted. So I knew that the screw shop that I always use is shut. So I went a bit further up the road to another shop that sells screws. And when I got there, there's a big label on the door saying closed Wednesdays. But all was not lost, because it caused me to walk past the Salvation Army charity shop, where I found that. That might come in handy. And not only did I walk past the Salvation Army charity shop, I walked past the Mind shop, a shop that supports the charity that looks after people with various mental conditions, illnesses. And look at that. That is rather a wonderful thing to find, isn't it? And in the back, let me see if I can do this easily, there's lots of wonderful pictures. Some of them, in fact I think pretty much all of them are a religious theme. But what a wonderful, wonderful thing to find. There we are. Right, what am I going to do? Well, I can't do any screwing, so I'm going to make tea.